It's just like, man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race, like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know. But you have to step away from it.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Sunday? It is rainy, overcast, so a standard day in the kingdom that is United. Hexic, hello. Bubbles, congratulations on your first. I fixed my keyboard. Ooh, oh, yeah, right. Yesterday you mentioned that you broke your left control. What did you do to it? You know which is the key that I break most on my keyboard? What do you think the key that I break the most is? You found an old keyboard? Did you gut it? Desoldered a key switch. I mean, that works. It's actually kind of hysterical, to be honest. Well, not a new one. I've had it for ages. Yeah, I kind of guessed it was an old one that you've had for ages, and you didn't just buy a new keyboard, desolder the new one, and then put it there. Technically, the Donny keyboard is newer than my my keyboard. I'm guessing you don't like it as much as your current keyboard, and that's why it's a Donny keyboard. It was my brother's. He raged at a game and snapped it. Ah, fair. I saw a bug here. There we go. Go. So that should be now fixed. Although my MX blue switches, although he has MX blue switches and I have silent red switches, so my control now makes very loud clicking noise when I use it. That's hysterical. So when I replaced my last keyboard, the reason I had to replace it was I think one of the keys stopped working. Actually, the space key stopped working, which I was not surprised by, but I actually landed up breaking off the one key. So it's one of the Corsair keys, and I broke the housing, that like triangle housing that connects the key to the keyboard. So I kind of just, it hobbled along for a while after that, and then I eventually decided, okay, I should probably replace this. And the reason that particular key broke is it's because there's a space between the escape and the F1 key. What would happen is when I needed to reposition my keyboard, I put my finger between those two spaces and I pulled the keyboard like that. And apparently doing that for over and over and over again is bad. So, whoops. The thing is, my keyboard was like 20 bucks. But I love it. Fair enough. I mean, if you're happy with it, you know, don't replace it. I was super happy with my previous keyboard, which is why well, my previous Corsair keyboard, because it lasted a really long time. So, yeah, I just don't replace it until it breaks. So I'd sooner spend £100 on new parts for it than buy a new one. I mean, fair. I can get that. Let's take that. Go V. Mark. Checker. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wonder if it'd be better to move that to here. Make that a triangle. Actually, that would probably be better to do that. We take those two. We just join them. Then this we technically no longer need, so we can dissolve the edge. Dissolve that edge. Then this one will get made into a weird triangle, so we'll subdivide it. Select the point. Oh, there it is. GX. And align it there. Join those two. Join. Subdivide that. GX. Join those two. Oh, that's a nice square. You can get mice with macro keys nowadays. Yeah, I've had my mouse has a macro keys as well. I've used them. I used to use them in gaming a lot, actually. And sometimes what I would do is I would bind keyboard keys to the mouse. So, for example, in like World of Warcraft, if I wanted to use keys like the equals and the minus key, I'm never going to move my hand over there. So I'd always bind those to my mouse so that I could just click them. Ideally, I'd have F1 through F24 and macro keys or something, and have a mouse with 12 buttons. You almost need like a Stream Deck, Hectic. Well, the thing I like about a Stream Deck is you can set it up with essentially macro keys like that. And I know it's completely overkill considering the price of them. But because you can then press another button to get another screen, you just get like tons more buttons. Can we unmark everything? Yes, we can. Now I can actually see what is and isn't marked. That's much better. Also, this... I could make my own Stream Deck. Actually, you could do that as well. I have enough random shit lying around that I could throw in together. I mean, if you can get a very small, like how much does really a tiny little screen cost? Because you can make a tiny little screen, and you can get like a mole to go over the screen, and then you can turn that into a button. Like that would work. Actually, if we cut that there, I wonder if we need to cut this. What were the rules for this again? It was if those two cut, this doesn't. And then actually you could do the same for that one and for that one. There we go. That's much cleaner. Mark that. So does this need that, or do we do the same thing we did here? I would probably be inclined to do the same thing. Just because it does seem neater. So we do that. And we no longer need that edge. Those are combined. That back comes up. Yeah, I'll do that because then that's one piece like that. Let's do that. Hello? You want to get a Pico 2, you can get tiny screens for like £2. Well, 0.2 pounds, cheap as fuck. That could be a lot of fun. Oh, you just gave me an idea. What we do, okay, how about this? We make a Rubik's Cube out of the tiny screens. This is a brilliant idea. Rubik's Cubes are a lot of fun. So I played with Rubik's Cube for many years, and I'd never actually been able to solve it. And then earlier this year, about 6 months ago, I decided that I'd had enough, and I sat down the one day because I could solve 66% of it like consecutively, which is basically the 2 first layers. And so then I decided one day I would just sit down and found a guide for it, and I just practiced until I could do it. And I was like, oh my god, I can finally do it. I was like, finally getting able to do it. It was just about practice. How big is tiny? Well, I was thinking, how big is a normal Rubik's Cube piece size or a screen deck size? Like, is that a centimeter or is that an inch? Hold on, where's my ruler? I had to get a whole tape measure to measure a tiny, what thing? 1.5 centimeters across. That was if that was a guess, that was a really good guess. You're like completely right. It is actually 1.5 centimeters across. I know, because I got a whole, how many meters is this? A 5 meter tape measure to measure a 1.5 meter thing, because apparently I don't have a single, actually no, I have rulers, I just don't know where they are. And it's funny because last time I got angry because I had to buy a plastic ruler because the 3-pack was cheaper than the 1 on its own. And then I bought the 3-pack, and now I have no idea where the other 2 are. Bubble's still one of them. Let's go like that. And that. Then we can dissolve that one. And probably dissolve that one, actually. That and that. What's the size diagonally, corner to corner? I can math. Yes, you can math. If it's 1.5 by 1.5, then you can work out the middle. Remember that school math that you taught that you thought you'd never use again, and now you're using it and you're like, oh my gosh, this math is great. What in the one thing I have this love-hate relationship with, wait, let's try that again. Let's actually undo that. So let's do this way. So I have a love-hate relationship with UV unwrapping, but when you get to this situation where you have this last one and you make it and you add it, and then it just goes like perfectly sized on the back, and just like, ah, that umami. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? It just almost makes UV unwrapping worth it, right? That's why the 3-packs are for you. You can probably keep track of one. I've got calipers at my desk for 1 8/4. I tried to 3D print. Fair. Oh no, because you mentioned that, and I've spoken it to Hex about this a while, because I've been considering getting a 3D printer. So now I'm going to get a pair of calipers, and then I'm going to lose all of them. So yeah, that'll be great. You can't find a 20mm one, or a 15. What's the smallest square size you can get? Because I know you get small ones. Like I've seen the ones that you attach to Raspberry Pi that are quite common. Printer box you can mount to the printer. You know, that's actually not a bad idea. But then I've got to remember to actually... Okay, no, wait. This is what we do. We print a box and a chain. Why are we printing a chain and not getting a chain? Because we have a 3D printer and nothing's stopping us from making a chain. And we make the chain so that we attach the chain to the calipers. So when you walk away with the chain, you go back and you put them back in. That's in theory that's the theory. The practice of that is completely different. You can't even find square ones. It does sound perfect on paper. Yes, it does. But we know in practice it's not going to work that way. They're all 1.2, 3.4. I'm sure I've seen square ones though. I actually considered using meta sounds to produce all my sounds to the game. What stopped you other than the huge amount of work? I actually considered trying to figure out how to use meta sounds because I think you can do some really cool things for it. They did a demo a while ago where they did something with the music, and the way the music like progressively changed as events happened in the game. I was like, that is a fantastic way to do that. But then I was like, do I have the time to sit and learn all that? Also, hi Crimson, how are you? But the PCB hangs off a bit, so it's rectangular. So it's 0.9 inches corner to corner. Fair. Actually, this we can move. Merge last. Do the same for that one. Merge last. Take those two. G. Oh, nope. GX. Z. Snap it. There we go. I wonder if it'd be better to link these two to the side here. I suppose it doesn't really matter. It should be fine. What is the screen cube designed for people who want to be able to give up halfway? Six cube. I'm not sure. If I do Pythagoras in reverse because it's a square, 0.9 inches is like 22 millimeters. I mean, that's not bad. 22 mil. Well, we know these type of screens exist because, I mean, Stream Deck is able to, Elgato is able to get them for their Stream Deck, and more companies are producing Stream Deck variations. So there's someone that makes them. Maybe they come as more of a button unit than a screen unit. Who knows? But I feel like there's someone that has a variation of that you can buy. What did I just put on? Check or finish. Oh, apparently I turned it off. It actually looks fine. Let's say it's about fine. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's do this piece. How do we want to do this? We can do it since that's the most non-visible part, let's do that. And we'll do that. So this just folds flat. Why? What's wrong with you? Ah, you have something over there. All merge by distance. No, there's What is that? dissolve, vertice. Is there another one that just exists? Nope. Okay, so then I go 2v mark. There we go. Apparently Elgato don't use a button with a screen. They use a big screen with buttons on top. Really? So wait, then it's Jam Check. And then Hexic, is it just this? So the side profile would be no, I don't want that one. Where is the pen? There's the pen. So this side profile would be this. Apparently I can't draw a straight line to save my life, which is the screen, right? Wow, that's bad. And then they just have these weird button things that exist on top like this that just amplify that. And I'm guessing the actual mechanism just holds it in here on the sides. It would seem that way. If I had had one, I'd take it. That's actually really clever. And then the software just takes care of what this... That's weirdly clever. Because then the likelihood of a single button screen breaking is a lot less because the big LED panel, so that's basically a big screen under. Huh. That's so cool. I'm sure there's a teardown video, teardown video of it. Software map the button to the right part of the screen. Yeah, but that's super easy to do. Take yours apart. Or let me find one. See if you can find a broken one and then just buy a broken one and then just take it apart and then fix it and then sell it back to the person that said it was broken. Temtech! Where are you, Temtech? You like subscribed and just ran. Temtech! Did Temtech just Temtech himself? Temtech. I'm so confused. How are you doing today, Temtech? Hey, so you absolutely destroyed me in the LinkedIn stuff today. Like, it wasn't even a joke. Also, Temtech, I wanted to find out, are you doing the advent of code? Asking for a friend. Or have you been? You just laugh at me. You funny little, I don't know. Ah. I decided to do it this year. After last year, I don't. What happened last year? Because this year they've removed the leaderboard, technically. Although you can join leaderboard, so my work has one at the moment. You just spend too much time on it? They haven't been too bad, because I'm not trying to optimize, I'm trying to just get it done. So they take me about half an hour to an hour each. If I wanted to sit and optimize it, I could, but I'm in a lot of them. That's how they get you. Yeah. So what I'm doing is, because I just want the answer, I'm in a lot of ways just brute forcing it. So even if it takes like one of the ones that I did, it took like 5 seconds to compute the whole thing, which is really long. And I was just like, I got the answer, and I just walked away. Because at the end of the day, as long as I get the answer, I'm quite happy. That one there, and that one there. And then 3, and then thing. iGen chat. What? Oh log. Colleague sent me a video why aviation wasn't allowed C++, and I had to think of you. It's funny because all of aviation simulation is basically done with C++. Like, I've just seen another one that was released this week at at ITSEC, and it's Unreal Engine as well, and I'm just like, lol. I just had to lol at that one. this is going to be seen from the front. So if we cut this, no one will see it, and then that should be square as long as we cut this. There we go. And we'll do the same for this one, because you won't see it. I tend to pick it in Gen Chat. Oh, is that what you meant? That's really smart, because these aren't expensive from what I've seen because of the size. Wait a minute. Because have you seen the price of these Steam Decks? I know that this screen size is, if I'm not mistaken, is cheaper than the smaller version. Isn't it cheap? I swear this size is cheaper than the smaller version, and this one costs like double. I just want to know how the button works. There's got to be a teardown video somewhere. Like, how does the button mechanism? You can get it for £1.50. This is our chance to make our own Stream Deck. It's not touchscreen. It doesn't need to be touchscreen. So how the fuck? Because the buttons, when you press them, they feel like tactile, kind of. This is the problem. As in like a membrane. Exactly like a membrane, yes. It's got that membrane feel. It feels like you're pressing on a plastic membrane. That's exactly the what I was gonna say. That one's done. Oh, it's done. That looks pretty good. And then that one lays flat. Ah, I need to do the back. So I would say this we cut this way. No, definitely not like that. Let's make this a piece. You can't press multiple buttons at the same time, can you? I've never really tried. That's not the button I wanted. That one. You can. I can hold two at the same time. And they're both register when I release. It seems to work. Like if I press this one, and then I press this one. So I'm holding one down at the moment, and then I'm going to release it. Ah, that's fascinating. If mine breaks, I promise to take it apart. If it's no longer under warranty. If it's under warranty, I'm sending that shit back. Oh, I see if I can make one. I'm sure you can make one. Remember that a lot of the stuff we buy isn't that it's hard to make, it's just a convenience. Like, how many people know how to make these kinds of things? I'd be interested in how they work. I don't think I'd make my own one. Just because I don't want to have to deal with when it breaks and I broke some code. Ooh, this is going to be a weird one to do because I need this to technically be cut like that. So maybe we just do it that way. And then, what was that? What? Does Edge have ad block built in it now? No, Microsoft sells ads. Weird. Okay. Because there was a website open on my laptop, and it goes, "Please disable ad block." I'm like, what? How does this... Okay, so if we look at it straight on, right? This doesn't look great. But I wonder if it'll fix itself once we... I mean, let's try and get all of these done first. So we'll mark those. We'll mark that. And then we'll see if it works. And I'll come back to those afterwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Like that. Because I'm hoping this will straighten out as soon as we get the last ones done. Sometimes it gets tricked if your connection drops and doesn't load an ad. Or maybe my... Oh, maybe actually Pi-hole stopped it. I found the issue with having DNS inside of your... When you run your own DNS server, so like Pi-hole, or not technically a DNS server, it looks at all the DNS traffic and decides if it's going to let it through. Is that it becomes terrifying if it goes down because you're like, oh no, panic. That being said, I can just set it to connect to something when it drops. That's why you set a secondary. I've set a secondary. My secondary is Google. Actually, I think I went for one of the Cloudflare ones actually, which I suppose at the moment it's not the best thing because that seems to keep going down every other day. Use Cloudflare, nerd. I'm using Cloudflare. I think I'm even using Cloudflare's secure one just because I saw they had the option and I was just like, meh, why not? Did that just magically align? Weirdly, no. I expected that to be like flat. So why are you not flat? So I go like this and we go, let's press L and see if it's connected to anything. So I go L, and then we press G. GX. It looks correct. This is where I feel really sorry for Blender. Although it does look like there's some weird shenanigans going on around the sides over there. Like, look there. Look at that. What the fuck do you need a prop this big for? Are you building a modular dam? No, I'm not. Worse than that. This is a tower. Why is everything hidden? What did I press again? Alt space. Nope. Why do I keep forgetting all the Blender keys? Okay, we'll just have to do trust me, bro. I'm so sick right now. I just want to sleep, but I can't CVA. That's kind of the problem with being sick. You just don't want to sleep. But turning cog, it is one of my towers. Bro, have you considered just letting Unreal handle the unwrap and just use the material? Why do you work so hard? Because I still need to paint it. Because I'm going to add more detail to it using Substance Painter, and in order for it to be put into Substance Painter, I need to unwrap it. What, don't you enjoy spending 6 hours unwrapping stuff? And trying to find out why the one thing is broken? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Mark. Why did that not change anything? Oh, it did. I'm just blind. And if I do that, does it go straight? It doesn't. What? Why is this not straight? There's something wrong here. Usually... Oh. Wait, hold on. V... I pressed the wrong button. Unmark. You know what we could do as an experiment to see if it is these? Is that. I got an energy drink. Drink. Singular. Oh no. I spent 27 hours modeling. Fucking no, I do not want to spend any other time unwrapping it. Fair enough. There we go. Now it works. Not sure how happy I am about that, but whatever. So if I unlock just one of them, does it break? Yeah, it actually just shits the bed. You know what? Fine, we'll just do it like that. I mean, that's kind of fair. Like this one's at 18 hours, and this is just the technically it's just the high to low quality version. It's not even the actual modeling of it. Do you give your models a little time, so after modeling, to sit before you unwrap, or do you go straight after it? Technically I let them sit for a while. These have been sitting for so long they probably have rust on, considering how long ago I made them. What is that? I didn't know you could do that in Blender. Alt space doesn't do what I want. Oh, that's the key I was looking for. There we go. So there's the rest of my model. That shit makes me hate my art if I don't give it time to breathe. I mean, that's also fair. The problem is, what I found is I get to a point where I need to almost stop, just because otherwise I'll keep adding more detail. Because this I find is extremely detailed. I mean, the amount of details on this tower is kind of just too much. And if you leave it up to me, I'll keep adding more. Because, like, for example, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, we could add more detail to this, we could add more details to that. Now, this is supposed to be the low poly version of it, so I'm supposed to be stopping. Not that that actually happens. So now the only parts that are left to do is the geometry node stuff, because I made a whole bunch of things. Well, what I discovered at one point was trying to mirror stuff, and then mirror stuff with an offset gets weird, but you can do that quite easily with geometry nodes. So all of these are just this single item. So the plan is to unwrap this one item, and then I'm hoping that when I click apply to the others, it will apply to all of them, basically. Because you can see at the moment there's 63,000 triangles in this, and this is already the low poly version. If we go to the high poly, we're at 156,000. So it's a bit high, but you can see like there's way too much detail in some of these parts. But if we go and we go shade smooth and we turn off, we go this one, let's go to matte and let's turn off, which is it? Wireframe, no wireframe. Is there another matte we can use? Like, nah, like, there we go. Super crisp. It's funny because looking at these towers, it's like there's actually so much detail. There's definitely an error here. I don't know what I've done. I'm gonna have to fix this before I send it out. But I've moved something, so this is now just slightly off. I actually get. Wait, I have a. I must have a screenshot of this somewhere, right? You can see there's a slight detail here, but so that's what I wanted. When you get adding motion into these, is it bones or weighted maps? I don't know. I think it'll be bones with constraints. I don't know enough about the animation process to give you a proper answer. I know that for this tower, the only real motion, so how I've designed it at least, and I did actually give this some thought, is this will allow it to pivot up and down, the entire tower to move up and down. This will allow the entire tower to rotate around, and that gives us, the tower can shoot at something, it can move around, and it can look up and down, which gives it all the axis movement it needs. The only thing that's left to do, so from the animated while it's shooting, is to move the guns. So the guns would move in and out. I had to tell myself, shut the fuck up. The little errors prove it's made by a high-passionate human. Yes, you will not get it perfect. One thing that I found did kind of help a bit for me is I jumped around between my towers a lot. So these are what they looked like, but I started work on one, then I moved to another, then I moved to another. So I was very erratic for which one I was working on which week. But what that allowed me to do was, as I got more familiar and learnt some of the ways of doing things, I could then apply it to the next tower, which made it better. One of the towers I'm probably going to have to spend some time completely reworking is this one. I haven't opened it in a while. Like, let's actually open it quickly because there's too much detail on it. Like, I've got to really scale it back, and there's detail in ways that I don't want. So for example, if we look at it right now, you'll see this is a mirror of that. This can be mirrored on the other side, but it can't be seen from the same side here. It looks too weird because it looks too identical. So this one actually needs to be the opposite side. So if we draw it out, this is what we currently have. As a mirror. But this is what we need, is that, and then obviously green. But have you enjoyed the 3D modeling, Bangkok? I find the 3D modeling is a lot of fun. It's a nice break from the code as well. It's one of the parts that I think I was the most terrified to do because it's not something, I feel like it's completely out of my comfort zone. So yeah, this is what I need to do at the tower, and now that I've actually spent a bit more time doing it, I know how I would do it. But let's actually open that one. So if we go to, we can save that. Let's actually put it on matte. Actually, we could put it on that one, and then go back to studio, then we'll turn on that. Do we have cavity on? Where's cavity? is cavity. Okay, cool. So if I open Blender again, actually wait, I think I have this one saved as a button because I gun electric missile. There we go. Nope, apparently can't find it. Okay, hold on. Open Blender. Once I get over the learning curve and got into the comfortable intermediate skills, I don't know how to do the bad stuff, but I'm okay. I don't like the first hour or so of using Blender. If it's been a while, I feel like I have fish flopping out of order. Yes, that's a very good way of looking at it. So to give you an idea, I couldn't remember the key to hide and unhide a tower, because if you ask me what the key is, I can't tell you. I do it instinctively now. Apparently it's the /. So if I select this and I press /, that's the key that I press to hide and unhide specific parts. I didn't know that was the key. I had to look it up because I couldn't unhide the part, and I'm sitting here like, what is it? Thank you for the hydrate, the stretch, bubbles, and the posture check. Did you make the model yourself? I did. From a lot of pain and suffering, but I did make this all myself. It's very detailed. Let me open up the other one. So if I go File, Open, this is Tower Defense Blender. So where is the missile tower? Now I can show you a tower that I need to possibly redo. Open. There we go. So this is the missile tower. Now when I say there's too much detail, man, I have not opened this in ages.
Stretch, maybe make bubbles and yourself a coffee.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Tricky Venom, thank you for the follow. But like, look at this level of detail, right? So here's the tower. Now remember that when this tower is placed in game, it will be... Do I have Rider open? I do, but I have the wrong project open. This window. Probably that kind of distance, maybe even further. Also save. Yeah, who needs to save? And this is the level of detail that I have on this tower. Can't even get to it. There's a bevel on this line here. And that is how we get to the point where if we go, where's show stats? Face orientation. Oh, look, there's a bug. Well, it's not a bug, but it's a thing. Where is stats gone? I can never remember. Statistics. There we go. So if I go and I select all. Can I select all? Will you allow me to do that? There we go. There's 1,000,000 triangles. It's a feature, not a bug, true. It's 1,000,000, and here's the thing. If I select one of these, this is 100,000 triangles. That's not being counted over here, because when I select... Oh, it actually is. Never mind. Excuse me. The legs of this tower are 360,000 triangles. So, I'm not saying I went overboard putting the detail in this, but I mean, come on. Like, there's detail, and then there's detail. Dun, dun. Also, I love how all the bevels are the wrong way around. This red is not supposed to be there. It means the normal is flipped, which is kind of hysterical. So it shows you I made some errors. And that's not even the feet. I mean, these feet are 200,000. They're 50,000 triangles per foot. 50,000 is like the upper max for the low quality version of the low poly version that I'm wanting to have. And here I'm sitting with 200,000. Sharpen. Whoa. I don't know if you saw that, but I clicked sharpen and the thing nearly broke. Ah, that's why. Q sharpen. Sharpen. There we go. Now it's fixed. But yeah, you'll be turning it into normals, I imagine. Yes, that's the thing. So because I'm not, I'm going to call it not technically trained in making 3D models. I didn't know what should be what detail you're supposed to do where. So there's this fine balance between doing it in Substance Painter and doing it in here, or even doing it in here, making it into a normal, and then that kind of stuff. Now, the thing with a lot of these detailed orientated parts is they will just be normal maps. So this, for example, this entire piece here can very easily just become a normal map, which is great. Fantastic. There's some, like the physical cutout here, I would keep. This I might keep if it's low enough quality, low enough, not quality, what's the word? Low enough triangle count, that's the word. But there's a huge amount of things that just need to be made into normal maps on here. I think this was a good experiment for figuring out like how to use a lot of the pieces for one, geometry nodes, because these are just copied items, and two, for how to use the cutters in hard ops, because from that it was really good. What's a mod? What did Automod do to you? Why is Automod so sensitive with you, Turning Cog? It just doesn't like you. We have enough 3D friends to help us, but we have to fuck it up to be able to be told the right way. Yes. So 3D Addicts has helped me a lot, and I've had like lessons with him, and he just goes, Sila, why? And I'm like, what do you mean why? Like, what? I'm at the early learning of Blender. I want to be able to do this level of detail, but I don't know any techniques to do precise stuff. So what I did with this, one of the biggest thing is looking at references. I don't think my references work because I changed computers between when I made these. But if we go to, I can show you what my references look like. The references are a big thing. This was the missile tower. Missile. Here we go. So these are all the references that I had. This is probably the best, the one that caused the most inspiration. Yes, these are AI generated, and one of the problems with making AI generated art into towers is there's things that don't work. So functionally, this looks fine, right? But when I came to modeling it, I started realizing there's some problems. Other than the fact that this side has two rockets, but look at the rocket. This is a pillar. This rocket merges into the pillar. But it gave me a good sort of idea overall of what I'm wanting the tower to look like. So for example, I like the leg structure. So you see I got that leg structure similar, which I think was pretty cool. I got this V didn't quite come out the same. When I tried to copy how it made the V, the proportions weren't right, and it was weird. So I liked having this. The more I look at this, what I probably change now is I actually put in an additional support here, because this feels like, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but anyway. This tower I'd potentially just start again, just with the new stuff that I've learned. I also use this one for a bit of inspiration, but I like the concept of you have a square, a long rectangular thing the missiles come out of, and then it shoots them off, which is essentially this design. So the missiles would come out of here, so it would be, you would fire one off, and then a new one would get pushed out, and then it would fire up, and we would just repeat that. So up, out, that one. Which, yeah, it works. It's just heavily detailed. It took me like 2 months of really hammering at Blender to get it started and to see shapes in different ways. Execute the ways I wanted to see. Be kind to yourself and give yourself permission to make bad art. Yes, that's a good way of doing it. Infinite rocket factory. Yes, exactly. The problem, and I struggled with this initially, was I needed them to all make sense. So for example, if we look at the gun tower, where's my gun tower gone? I sat there, I'm like, okay, but how's it gonna get the bullets? Where are the bullets gonna come from? Do we just you know, have them sort of come out of the ground, and then they roll up through the top here, and then that kind of stuff. So technically this would work like that, because they could be, you know, they could receive the bullets through holes over here, and then they could shoot. Fine. But it was at the point where I sat here and I'm like, I'm trying to figure like, how are we going to get this tower to get refilled? And I'm sitting here like, it's not going to work. And I realized, it's a computer game. Does it really matter that much that the tower can just somehow infinitely spawn towers? I'm not very familiar with modifiers. Do you use any to create this mess? So I've used a lot of modifiers, but I use the same modifiers. So you'll see on the bottom right here, I've got tons of modifiers. Mostly I use Boolean. Boolean is just, you know, the shape cut. I use bevel a lot to get the sort of that smooth edge like that. And then I use the mirror and the mirror quite often. I also use arrays to do things like this. So this is an array modifier. So if I take it off, you'll see there's just one. So those kinds of things, they're useful to know. So if I look at Substance Painter, when I first, not Substance Painter, Hard Ops, this is the box cutter add-on that I use. And the reason I use it is I can do things like this, which is that's a plane, not a mesh. That's not a mesh. A cube. And then I can just say that I want to make a cut, and I can go like that, hit enter, and it applies the modifier for me. And then you can do things where you can go ever scroll. So for the type of work that I was wanting to do, which is hard surface modeling, this works well. And then because it's non-destructive, I can always go and decide, actually, I want to take this side here, and I want to, I don't know, move it forward or move it to the side. Solar power Star Trek replicators. Ooh. That is actually part of the reason why it has a, the tower had a, this is a, what is it called? Skylink, Starlink. I'll do coffee quickly. I have returned. So you asked about the topology when you apply it for export. So when you export, it does automatically apply them. I'd almost suggest, so what I do is, if I'm just exporting it to have the model in Unreal Engine just as the placeholder, not the final one, then I'll generally just export it. Or what I'll do is I'll make a copy of it, apply all of them, because that way if it applies weirdly, I can fix it. Or the low poly version, because I have to unwrap it, I go through the process of applying them and then seeing if I need to fix any of them. So you'll see that, like for this one, for example, there's no booleans. So the shade smooth, the triangulation you can leave on. Triangulation I do in Blender because, well, actually, I apply the triangulation to see what Blender is going to do when I export it. So it's good to see how it's going to triangulate some of the stuff. So sometimes it does really weird things that I don't want because everything has to be a triangle. So is there an example? So if I just take this object and we go into edit mode and we go check if finished, you can actually see it. So that's how it's going to make that triangle, which is fine. But you can see here it's done like that's also fine, but you don't want, how it was explained to me is like, you don't want tons of like really, really small ones in an area. So like, for example, here, because we've got that cut there and that cut there, it's trying to make this into a triangle. What we could do is put a join on here and make these more square so we don't have all these weird triangles like that. So what we would do is how could we join this? So we could stop at making this an actual square. So if we go subdivide, we take that, we go G, we align it there. See, now that's now a square there. We can do the same on this side, subdivide it. GX. Now that's a square there, so that's quite nice. Then for this piece, let's see. If I take those two, I can press J. And now we get the situation where this we no longer need. This we no longer need. And now we get one big ass square. Ooh, I've done something wrong here. I've forgotten to apply something. Any shading problems? Generally no. So the way that I check shading is I enable the matte cap. Because the matte cap is super reflective. I turn off triangulation because it's just annoying. And then I go and I see if there's any problems. So if there's a problem, GX, you'll see that along the line it doesn't look smooth. And then from some angles it becomes more prominent. So the red I was almost shown, this particular one, is very good for seeing like, is there something wrong with the shading? So especially when you look at the light. So from here, you see when there's no shading problems, it's nice and flat. But as you come to somewhere like here, you start seeing that something doesn't look right here, where you expect this to be like flat. So then now you'll see it's fine. Sometimes I don't get rid of all of them. And then sometimes it looks fine in here, but when you when I export it into Substance Painter and I actually do the bake, because I bake all the normals and all the ambient occlusion and all that kind of stuff, then you see like really weird problems. And then I come back into here and I see, is there something wrong with the model? What's happening? I personally don't do triangulate my models before export, which apparently is a mistake on my part, but someone had to tell me that shit and I still chose to ignore it till it bites me. But that's the thing, Turning Cog, is I didn't know that. I didn't even know that it made it into triangles. Like, it makes sense that everything's a triangle because that's how Unreal Engine uses it. But I didn't know about that. And it wasn't until someone explained, like, what I didn't understand was like, why do you triangulate? Like, I asked React this because he explained it to me. And I said to him, why do you triangulate, add the triangulate modifier if it's going to do it for you, because what he basically said was you can control where in the stack it is. And he used, so the triangulation, the way with the triangulation is these all get applied when you export. So with it like this, you can control where in the stack it goes if you have any problems. Pedro from Anonymous, thank you Anonymous for the 25 bits. Also, hi Josh, how are you doing today? Damn tech. Can you please write out in chat the list of modifiers you use for me to research? Sure. So let's think. Let me open Obsidian for you. Sukilos, hello, Obsidian. I'll make you an Obsidian list. Hi Sada, I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Let's add a quick note. So let's see, what do we regularly use? Let's go out of this. Let's put this back onto studio mode. So my favorite one is probably the array. I use that a lot. Array is very powerful. So by default, what array does is it just multiplies the object. So it's good having a look at how to use it and then what you can use it for. But you'll notice that mine is not just X number around, but mine is, there's a problem with mine. It's not even. The middle is wrong, that's why. But I've got mine that's rotated. So I have this object called empty. So what I've done is I've set it that, where is it? This one. I've got the array that goes around the object. Bubbles made me coffee because she was being nice to me. So you can make an array go around an object and then you can do weird things like that. I need to go and fix that. I know, I'll fix that now. Let me make the list. So we've got the array modifier. Hi, Bubbles, the magic coffee machine. She's always nice to you, Si. She is always nice to me, yes. So array modifier, and these modifiers are all standard in, what is this program called? Blender. So there's the array modifier. What's the other ones you want to use? Weighted normals. The problem with weighted normals, it can be hard to tell you how to use that one just because of the way I use it. Because it gets applied for me when I do this, when I sharpen objects from hard up. So I'm not going to include that one. Bevel's another one is really good. So if we go Shift A, add, cancel, Shift A, add cube. And I keep pressing the wrong things. There we go, like this. Bevel is Control B to bevel, like that. But what you can also do is add a bevel mod generator. So I think it's under bevel there. And then you can change the number of segments to the whole thing. So bevel's a really good one to have. So there's bevel. What else do we use? That'd be good for even bevels, yeah. Where's the rest of this? These bevel, what else do we use? I think bevel and Boolean. What do you know what type of modeling you're trying to do, Tricky Venom? Because with hard ops, some of these, they're not specific to hard ops, you can use all of them. But so this piece of work that I did here, this was done by making a single cutout that I was happy with, and then I used an array modifier and I told it to go along the z-axis to the end. Crazy how you haven't mentioned box cutter yet. Box cutter isn't a modifier. But that's the thing. If you're looking at doing all sorts, to be honest, guns, house objects, curtains. So guns have a lot of sharp edges generally. So box cutter is a very good tool for that. There you go, Sikilos. So it's the Hard Ops Box Cutter Toolkit. Hard Ops Box Cutter Blender. There was so much lag. So it's this one. I'll put it in chat for you. One tool to rule all. It's probably my favorite tool. My towers are made with it. There's other cool tools you can use as well, but I use that one a lot. I'll give you the list of tools. So let's do this. There's the list of tools, which is box cutter. Then there's, or actually technically it's hard ops plus box cutter. Then we've also got Zen UV. And then there's Pack Master, which I don't know why I don't have installed. Pack, Blender, Pack Master. UV Pack Master, that's the one. Let me just go through, actually, let's do this. Let me go through my high quality model because that will have all the things that I've used to make it. That. So let's just selecting. Oh, geometry nodes. Very useful. This one. Oh, there's the other ones I use. So let's just add a Boolean. Mirror is another very good one. This is done using geometry nodes. So geometry nodes is like scripting. So if I go on here and I click that, then I select this one, not that one, copy that. Where is it? Apparently exists, but I can't see it. Oh, there we go. So this is geometry nodes. Very useful thing to learn in Blender. I wouldn't start with it. I'd go on later on. All this is doing is it's basically copying another piece and putting it in a specific place with a specific offset. And then mirroring it. It's like movements and all those kinds of things. Really useful. There's a viewer called Skittles that basically, I'm convinced, invented them. So we got that. What else? Let's go through the rest. So there's bevel, there's auto smooth, bevel array, boolean, hard ops mirror, auto smooth, hard ops, weighted normal. Weighted normal can be good for smoothing. I'll add auto smooth as well. Auto smooth. Mirror, bevel. It's just booleans, mirrors, and bevels. And some geometry nodes. What is used on this? Array. Smooth by angle. And mirror. Okay, let me add those all to you. So, tools. No, wait. Some modifiers. So it's array. Bevel. I'm just typing more in chat for you so you got them. And then, is it good to keep meshes in pass or try something like that? I keep them in pass, just because I like being able to modify a single part. When you export, you get the option of do you want to combine them into a single unit, which is what I've done so far. I don't know for animation and stuff how that's going to work, but so far I've kept everything as individual small pieces because then you can modify just that. Tools. Thank you for the list. So here's the tools or add-ons that I use. So there's Hot Plus Box Cutter, there's Zen UV, and there's Packmaster. That's the last one. There's some other good ones out there as well. I use another one called Cablenator, which was pretty cool. Blender, Cablenator. So Cablenator, I didn't buy through the website, even though it's $14. I got Cablenator through a pack, through Humble Bundle. So Humble Bundle sometimes has like software and Blender bundles. And what I'll do is I'll always go through the list and see what the add-ons for Blender that are being sold in there, and if it's any that I need or want. And if it is, then I'll usually buy the list, because it's usually cheaper to buy it there than it is to... You'll buy the whole pack and get a whole bunch versus just buying a single one. Thank you for that, Hexic. I didn't need to see my high detail towers. I'm wanting to get... I think once I finished my towers, I want to get probably each one of them. Why would you use my favorite word, Hexic? Each one of them 3D printed. I suggested to them many years ago about selling assets and code blocks. The person thought it was a great idea, and then they started happening. Nice. Each one of what? Each one of my death machines. This is my death machine. It brings death to the masses. Wow, you probably should not say that. I nearly said it, Hexic. I nearly said it. Was so close. There's all my empties. There's turn off the high quality. Go back to low quality. And let's turn on... I can't see! Turn that back on. Turn that back on. Okay, so now I need to do this one. Does that not work? Apparently it doesn't work. There you go. There's that one. And there's that one. Oh. I think I also have a blue sky. But that apparently is not listed. Let me add it to do to fix the socials button. Fix the socials. So we're gonna fix that. Now, if I make a modification to this, is this actually the right one? Don't you love geometry nodes? My favorite is if we look at what these actually are. They're just cubes. they're not even in the correct position. They're just added, and then the geometry node stuff takes care of everything else. It's just a cube. I got to say, the cell near me never works. I always have like no bars. Yeah, I pay. I have that as well. My telecommunications large rod also doesn't work near me. I'm convinced it's a UK thing. Yeah, it's a large rod. Oh, Tanith has now graced us with her presence. I don't know what it is, other than the fact that she's now sitting in my glasses. When she sits in front of me, I forget how to use a keyboard, and I have to manually look at what the key is. But when she's not in front of me, I'm able to quite easily just carry on.
Tower 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 beams tower 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 tower
Why is
tower tower
beans in
beams
there?
tower tower tower.
There are pretty plants in the US outside of large cities too. Ooh. Some of ours are trees. The word that I'm allowed to say. So we can take this off. Then we can go Q, sharpen, sharpen. What else can we do? Oh, this is only 700? It's like a bargain. So this... How is the triangulation gonna work? That looks horrible. So, how do we fix this? We go like this. We go... Ah, thank goodness. That wasn't the one I was hoping for, but I'll take it, because I'm blind. Finally. That brought me great stress. Thank you for that, Hexic. I appreciate it. Jasper! Hello, how are you doing? I'm working on this, by the way, Jasper. I'm making the low poly version of this. In case you look at me and go, what is this random stick in the ground that you're playing with? Let's take triangulation off for a second, or do I want to make this smoother? I don't think I really need to. So what we can do is we could take this and delete the face, because no one will ever see it. Then I think... Can I ask a question? You already did. Sure, go ahead. I know you already said, but what was the shortcut to fix the triangulation? To fix the triangulation, so there isn't one to... Wait, do you mean the triangulation or the smoothing? Because there isn't one to fix the triangulation. I just add the triangulation, so I add the modifier and I go generate triangulation just to see what it looks like. But in order to see it, you need to have wireframe at the top here, wireframe on, this one. Otherwise you don't see it. Which is funny because when I turn it off, it shows the other lines. But yeah, you need to have that on. Alter for Hare. Can you add my icon to your game or just profile for short? Why? It's a cute duck, but why? You said earlier that if there's too many triangles in an area, you did something to move the vertices after. So, what I did there was I modified it. So if we go Alt-Z here, you'll see how like this triangulation here looks really weird because you're getting this situation where we're making these really weird triangles here. So all I did for that was I selected this one, that point there. Actually, what I should do, isn't there preferences, screen. Oh, there was a screen keys add-on that I need to get. So I select that one, and I press J. J is to join 2 points together. Just a question. Trying to throw me, aren't you, Jasper? Trying to throw me. And then I select this one here, and I select this one, and I press J again. This one here, and this one I press J. Let me just save that. Where is Blender screen keys? That on. You're gonna get Cider to design me an ESP case, and I'll 3D print it. I could actually. I need one of your towers with some LEDs and some hollow wires. I have to experiment with it at some point. Yeah, once you figure out what you're trying to do, it'll start making more and more sense. A yes or no question, but the truth is, I've been having a rough time. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is Why is that like that? Hollow out space for a couple of AA batteries and ESP. So if you give me the design that you want, the dimensions and all that, I can make it for you. It will be very high detailed for no reason other than I just, you know, I have a problem with the details. Okay, I'm going to turn triangulation off. I wonder if this is the best way, or we just make a line through it. I guess all that would do is move this here, and move that there. So we would technically get rid of 2, wouldn't we? Let me see. So we're at 750. Let's do an experiment. So we're at 750. Let's go... Actually, wait. We don't even need that tool. We can go like this. We can go 2, subdivide, subdivide, J. So now at 97. Then we can take all of these. Dissolve edge. Dissolve edge. Dissolve edge. And see if we get lower than... We get down to 82. So the savings was no savings at all. You don't have a problem with details, you have a problem with stopping. You're actually not wrong. Unfortunately, you're very right there. Rough is one of the hardest words in English language to say multiple times in a row. Yes, it is. You just go to sleep, like for the whole day, and then wake up in the afternoon after you've had your nice long cat, sit in front of me, and then you sit here until I go and give you snacks. And you stare at me with those eyes like, "Please, sir, may I have some food? I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten all day." The thing you have on your screen now would make a great laser case. Oh, it would. Let's go like this, and then go V, mark it with a checker. Wait, why did that come out so well? That came out really good. I've apparently already cut this out because that looks... That is clean. Laser diodes instead of LEDs would be sick on a 3-foot. Oh, that would be so cool. Detached bottom, but hole, laser hole at the top. Easy peasy. Yeah. So looking at this, wait, where's the line seam? There's the line seam. Oh, this is clean. Look, it actually matches basically those lines there. See how close they are? That's what we want. That's what we want. Where did I put this? I can't tell if I'm up or down now. I think it's underneath. It is underneath, okay. So that's actually really good. Just hide that. What is this? I have no idea what this is. Go Q, V, that. Lasers to pretend like it's shooting, so like through the barrel of the top gun. Ah. Someone buy me 2x16 terabyte NVMe drives for my laptop. Do you even get 16 terabyte NVMe drives yet? Because I know that Samsung's just released the 8 terabyte ones, and I'm like, oh, I want one, but they're so much money. Like, do you get 16 terabyte NVMe? 16 terabyte NVMe. Technically, Kingston does sell a 15.36 terabyte PCI 5 NVMe, but not M.2. You can get a Samsung 8 terabyte for only £800, so it's £100 per terabyte. Honestly, it's not bad. I was going to buy a 2 terabyte one, but that one I wanted went up in price. Yeah, they're all going to start going up in price now. Cheaper than RAM, true. Actually, it is. Someone asked 11 months ago, why aren't 16 terabyte NVMe drives a thing yet? I think it actually, I wonder if it comes down to the memory controller. That's the issue with those. Because the density, I mean, the chips at the moment are what, like 3D stacked. Cat is looking at me so sad. Why is this look so weird on here? I wonder, like, hold on, if we, because this is flat, right? It should be flat. And that should be like that. So if I do this and I go subdivide, and then I go this and I go subdivide, and I join these two like that, then we dissolve that edge and we dissolve that edge. And we take this and we click unmark, and then we mark it again. Is it because it's stretched? I think I'm going to do the same one here. Subdivide, subdivide, join, dissolve edge. Because 3, if I select the piece, that's a scary amount of storage to have. It is. I feel like I'd find a way to fill it. But I would be quite happy to have that amount of storage. Braxton, hello. How are you doing? Oh, apparently if you subdivide that, it actually joins it automatically for you. J. Interesting that those two aren't aligned. Kind of not what I was expecting. GZ. There we go. I am well. How are you? I'm pretty good. Braxton has coffee. There's definitely something. Merge by distance. There are some weird shenanigans going on with this. I mean, I guess if I do this, it should be straight then, which it isn't, which is even weirder. Because now it joins here, which is, you would expect this piece to be square, because that would just get cut out. There's some weird shenanigans going on with this. Da, 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 da. Wonder if it would be better just to merge this to there. Maybe have a double vertice somewhere. It could be an issue. Maybe. It looks like something just isn't aligned properly. Because looking at this, if we go and we go UV editing for that particular object, we just isolate it and we go there. You can see these two aren't actually properly aligned. Like I could fix it. I mean, this actually gives me an idea of where the issue is. Because we would expect this. So if I go like this and then I turn on, is it this one? So now if I select that, where is it? The dot. This vertex right here. Ah, because that needs a mark on it there. So that helps. It's usually something weird like that, isn't it? Actually easier to do it from the other side. 1, 2. Does this one also missing it? Okay, the cat's getting angry with me. I have to go give her a treat. Like this one is there, which is where? It's weird because this doesn't actually even look straight. If I select that and I go GX, Y, and I snap that one, GY, to this. Is it straight? Apparently it is. At least that looks better, because I can fix this alignment in here. I could just go GZ, and then where's the snapping tool? So actually I can just go like this, then I can go to... Where's Zen UV gone? Zen UV. Select that edge, go to Zen UV, go to... One of these has the option for me. That one. It might be 3D Packmaster that I need to use. Sure it was this though. Calculate. That's the density overlaps. Replicas overlaps. UV. That's all the stacking. Mirror, mark, edge, smooth. That's not it either. There's a tool that I have somewhere. Advanced transforms? No, that's not it. Anyway, I have a tool that I can use that will allow me to make these actually straight, which will then make them look fine. Which I'll do later when I finish packing it. But at least that looks a bit better. So go back to layout now. Yeah, it is a bit better. Why is this? It's 32 triangles. That should unwrap perfectly fine. And do all of that. Let's change this to the UV. There we go. Yeah, you see this one is perfectly unwrapped. It's nice and straight. This one is going to be a pain. So let's go like this and go hide, hide. Now for some reason, and I don't know why, this has 2 inside. Now why are there 2 inside? So you've got this one, and we've got that other one. And if we look, the whole orientation, so there's 2 in here, fine. Now, what I need to figure out is which one is the one we're supposed to be using, because if I get the wrong one, then when we go to bake this in Substance Painter, what will happen is it'll bake the hole in the wrong place, or it'll add a hole just weirdly. So I'm not sure how we're going to figure that out. Because I think one of the other streams that we had, when we started cleaning this up, you can see inside of here, the alignment of all of this is not great. So if we look here, you'll see that that aligns to like that point there. That aligns to there, but doesn't connect to the rest. I think I was completely rebuilding this. So what we could do is let's minimize that one. Let's go to the high model. Does this have this? I'm assuming this is the same problem. Don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, so this is definitely too many triangles. But I think what we can do is when we go back to this one, let's see what the difference between the 2 is. So we've got this one at the bottom. So this is turret gun muzzle low and barrel test low. And so I was trying to test a new version. And if we turn... like the inside of this one actually looks fantastic because it's perfectly aligned. It looks like I started unwrapping this one as well. It doesn't look too bad. Like, let's finish unwrapping and see what happens.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon, and I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect.
I wonder if what I should do for this particular piece is have essentially no inside. So we'll cut out the holes like that, but then inside the actual barrel, we just won't have any of the faces. Because I think from the, well, one from the distance, even if you get close, like, do we want you... Like, what would we expect? They can act that you can even see through this. Because I would say we go basically like this, go L. Apparently that selects everything. Essentially move all of these faces.
got in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone, I'm not certain. The girls
Beans.
polite in the club.
Beans, 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 beans.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. The girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you're Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Sink down and emotions feel like I never did before. Life shows him spoken, real saw the movie I ignored. Blue skies on a broken sea and I'm stuck up on the shore.
What are you busy with at the moment, Hexic? I opened up Fusion 360. Nice. Guess that answers my question of what you're doing right now. Genevia on. Thank you for the hydrate and the posture check and the stretch. The 3D print for a laser. Nice. Thank you for the stretch. Oh, that was a good stretch. I must say, I complain a lot about UV unwrapping, but I do find it very therapeutic. One of those things that is like a weird fun little puzzle. I'll finish unwrapping this and then I'll see what's happening on the other side. You have to update Fusion. Nah. Why don't you just use Blender? Blender. Blender's bis. Because Blender is not designed for CAD. True, but Blender will make you happy, so... What's the Autodesk Cloud thing? I thought it was Fusion. Is it 3ds Max? Also, I don't use Blender. I use 3ds Max. How could you? 3D Max Supremacy? Don't know what you're talking about. I have some questions about this piece over here. Why are there so many... Dissolve edge, dissolve edge, dissolve edge. Oops. Oops. Do we need that many? That just has one. So... guess we just go subdivide. Actually, let's just do this. Go to that, subdivide into 2. Dissolve edge, and that solves that one. That's already done, so we don't need these 2. There'll be some weird bending that takes place on that, but it's such a small part that I'm just not going to worry about it. Unless it breaks in DaVinci, not DaVinci Resolve, Substance, and then I'll probably complain a lot. Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Did you say Maya's Supremacy as well? Not bad. Not bad at all. And I think what we do is we just go like this. We'll go like that. Go like that. And then we just delete all of these. So we can go delete vertices. That. And just delete all the faces. It looks so weird. How bad does it look? It looks fine. We're going to dissolve, we just want to delete the faces. Do we want that? Wait, Control Z. That's actually what we want, just dissolve this edge. Brace yourself for the ads. Is that actually correct? So what I want, dissolve faces. That's what I want, yes. This is so weird. Faces. edge. Yeah, that's what we want. So I'm not going to have all these tiny finicky pieces on the inside of a part that's already super small. Also, in all, without being funny, these are 2,500 polygons. There's 10,000 polygons in this. I wonder if what we do is we take this line. Actually, I'm going to do that. So let's take this line and let's do this. This might be bad, but it's fine. So dissolve faces. So now we just have this weird hole, right? And we can go like this, and go extrude ZX. GX, like that, just a bit in. Then go V, mark, go that, go. So then there's a bit of a hole there, but not there. Do the same here. Oh, I know what I could do. What if we did this? Center. How many does that remove? It removes a single vertice, but not triangles. It does make it cleaner. I'm so close to getting VIP. Where? On Boomstream. Yeah. Look at PM. 99,916. Lol. How many do I have? Oh, I'm at 261,000. Whoops. Let's give Boom a shout out. Give me some. I would give you the points if I can, because I literally can't spend them. But if those of you who are watching that haven't seen Boom stream, go watch Boom stream. Just give screenshots, 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 all the screenshots. Yoink. Wait, Boom's here. Boomer's watching my Boomer's watching me watch Boom stream. Boom came in. How many streams deep can we get? Streamception, like right now. Yes, I'm watching Boom stream and Boom is watching my stream. Flame. Fire. Wee woo. Who owns the content now? Oh no, I hit Boom with a fire engine. Don't worry guys, we'll send in an emergency rhino. Or a safety rhino. And an emergency rhino. Streamception. Medics have arrived. Boom stream is just chaos. It's fantastic. It's also a good co-working stream. Very good co-working stream. Yoink. You should get that this stream then, Temptic. Just need some stream. You're watching Boom stream while Boom streams watches your stream. I stole your thing. Which thing? My design. Check Discord. He really did. Yoink. From memory. And I can give you the part if you want. Look at all these triangles. No, don't worry. Fine. Fine. I might see, because we've got rid of some of the vertices, which kind of helps. But I might see if I can, when we bake this, I'm gonna try see if we can. If I make it solid, what does it look like? Gigantic. That's so funny. I'll design it to be a laser and then send you the files. Nice. Whoops. I kind of want to get this to be able to put into Substance Painter so I can actually just test it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into Substance Painter, see how it comes out. Then I'm going to make another version where I basically fill this hole on here and then see how does it look. Because if it still looks fine, then I'm just going to get rid of it because I'll save a ton of triangles by doing that. What did you do? You designed the part the wrong side, lol. So you can't mirror it, lol. Temtic, what are you busy with at the moment? You've been working on your game. Yes. Finalizing things. It's coming along really nicely. Let's give Temtic a shout out. Trying to finish my new version of the later. Temtic's making a, what is it, a pinball machine game. And it looks like, Where do I have a picture? Do I have a picture? Do I have a picture? Do you have a Steam picture? It's a roguelike, pinball roguelike deck. Can I not open this external? Copy message. Apparently not. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Do I have a what? No, I was trying to get a picture of it, but apparently Steam doesn't let me. Well, the Discord chat doesn't let me, but I can go into my library.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Yep, you don't have any pictures on Steam? No! There's no pictures! No! What am I looking at? That's a good question. You are looking at the inside of a gun barrel. And if we take this a step further... hold on, I actually just hit everything. That's how it's incorporated and used. Use my video from earlier. This is what Temtic's game looks like. It's looking very good. I've watched it progress, and it's progressing very quickly. It's gonna be done soon. Shipping to stores near you. Nice. If it's inside, why does it matter? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm cleaning up the inside so that we don't need to have it. Because what I'm thinking of doing, Hexic, is I'm probably going to close this. And then when I close this, I want to see how it works. If your game is small enough, can you put it on a CD? I think it currently isn't. I think it's already over a gig. And get your DVD. It'll fit on a DVD. How about that? Did I merge all of them? Man, this is trippy to look at. No, I didn't do those two. It's just like a random vertices all over the place. We just don't need. I think Blu-ray Max is at 128 gigs, so you can get the cinematic ones that will won't bit rot for like 1,000 years. That's insane. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if you made your game, put it on a CD, and it didn't even use it. I think CD is still very possible because CD is 7.8 gigs max. Can't remember. Design cover art and put it on a shelf. That way you get all your games and DVDs chilling there. That would be really cool to do. See how much it costs to get that all printed. You can send it off to get the DVD printed too. Or you can order a DVD with a cover art on it and then write it yourself. True. Maybe I'll do that. I might consider, like, I want to do some kind of special something to say that, like, I have some physical thing for the game just to have as a, I made this. Which is kind of why I want to get the towers 3D printed. Once they're done. If you have a 3D printer, you can just get a label to stick on it. Ooh. And yeah, and games are still more expensive nowadays. Games are very expensive these days. And there's no physical shipping. It's like $70 for a game that ships completely digitally. Or you can order DVD with a cover. Yeah. I might look into something like that just from I might get like a few copies made that are just a disc, even though you probably, because I could do a disc and then have a printed CD, so you could use the disc. Actually, I'm not even sure if you can use a Steam installer for a disc these days. And then just have a, what do you call it? I'm sure there's a way of getting like a game on Steam. Like the disc printing versions. £11 for 10 prints of DVDs. I mean, that's not bad. Oh, they look decent as well. That's really reasonable, and they give you the DVDs. Like that's really reasonable. I'll look into doing that, Hexic. I'll get some, like when I get the game properly done, I'll get a special edition made that's actually a physical copy of the game. I was actually thinking of making like a, not a book, but like a, there's some of the concept art that I have. Like, you know, what did the tower start looking like this thing? Like some of the, how did it look during the development? So if we look at like, I'm not sure how many people would want it, but like, you know, what did this tower start off at? And then, you know, see how it progressed into its final version where it's printed. So like the initial concept. And there's actually, I even got the pre-initial concepts, because remember that in the game at the moment, this is how they started off as for that tower. So like from this to what they look like now. Maybe the disc is a standalone installer and there's just a key for Steam, or if you do a coupon for like 99% off, so it still tracks the purchase metrics through Steam. That would be nice, because that is one of the things I've noticed about one of the things with Steam, if I get keys and I give them out to people, they don't count as reviewable keys, which is a bit problematic. $750 DVDs for $375. Oh, they also write the DVDs for you, as far as I know. Okay, so they can write them as well. That could be helpful. So then I need to actually get a release version of the game for them. Like, I understand why Steam does it, but it becomes problematic. So, for example, if Temtic is doing a release of his game and I want to buy some keys from him to do a giveaway, he can do that, but then none of those keys count towards are reviewable. So I haven't found a good way of doing that yet. Maybe you can. I have no idea what I'm doing. You make a version of the game on Steam, so you buy it on Steam. Then you can ship the DVDs afterwards. We could do that as well. I mean, there's a few ideas that we could do. Right now, I need to focus on actually getting the game finished before, you know, before I retire. It looks pretty good. How does this look in here? So most of them are fine. There's some weird shenanigans on this. Where is that? Yeah. Oh, that's those pieces. Right, okay. This piece looks weird. Should it look like that? Should be straight. Where's that? Ah, that's why. That should be fine now. These all look fine except for this one. What's wrong with you? What are you? You're this piece. Why are you having an issue? Merge by distance. As far as I recall, you can tie a game product key to a purchase, so you can give like each DVD to their respective purchases. It'd be tedious, but it would work. The thing is, I have to restrict where I think the game can be shipped to, just from a how much is it going to cost to ship there? Because, like, obviously, being in the UK, shipping in the UK is very easy, but depending, like, shipping probably to most of Europe is easy, probably the US, but some of the other countries can get expensive. Keep in mind, they're not that big or heavy. True. So like max £5. £5 local, not international. Local be the cost of stamp, yeah. Local, depending on if I can fit it in an A4 stamp box, you can just, yeah, if it fit in, yeah, that's the word. If it fits in the large letter hole, that's just a single stamp. DVDs are radically more heavy than jiggly electronics. True enough. Hydrate! Thank you, Sneebrion, for the hydrate. I'm still confused as to why this particular piece looks so weird. Because on that side it's relatively fine, but on here it's like, nah, bruh. Where is it? It's this one here. Wait, so there's a cut there. Why is there a cut there? Unmark. So you expect the cut to be there, which it is. So does that fix it? It mostly fixes it, but somehow still not 100%. This whole area is a bit, like, dodgy. I think it's mostly good enough now. It doesn't look too bad, actually. On top, this is actually... So that is marked. Does it have a cut? It does. So that's good. And this one is marked. Good. Still really high on the polygon count. It depends on how many jiggy electrons you have. It'll weigh more than a DVD, so like... Yes, I did the math. So if I isolate this one, what is the number of... So where is the start? That's the start. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Or... Did the text-to-speech just... I think you broke the text-to-speech. It just said no. Oh. Your channel points to be refunded because the TTS message contains spam. Get spammed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. How many was the original? So the original was... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the original had 6. I got VIP. Yay! Congratulations on your VIP. Ah, look at all the VIP spam. Welcome to the spam club. I wonder what Boom's going to be doing about the VIPs, because I think Boom's running out of VIP slots, so you're going to have to start cycling them through. And you can see, here's the issue with the 6, so that we might have to ooh, there's tons of issues with this. Look at this. So there's the center hole. The center isn't actually aligned. Because I would... Because you got one set of opposite, which I think is fine. You can have one set diagonal and one additional set diagonal, and I think that works. This is definitely a part that needs to be properly rebuilt. I need to get into Substance Painter so I can check. Is this the actual final part? It can't be the final part. Oh, that's the low quality muzzle. Okay, fine. Where is the... There's the geo... Where's the high quality muzzle? Oh, there it is. So this is the high quality one. Which is strange because it's not even aligned properly. It's not centered. Because there's the center line. But that's the center line. Very important. Otter, the P is silent. Lol. I will be right back. The cat wants some treats. I'm going to give him some treats quickly. I've returned. I gotta teach, so I gotta peace out. Bye, Exik. I want to check something. So if I hide that one and hide this one. Actually, wait, that's the base we don't need. That's the top one. We isolate. Yeah, this pace is really broken. I think what we do is we've got the low quality version and we copy that. Now, if we look at the low quality version at the moment, I want to actually do a test on the low quality one. So if we take this one, the low poly one, so let's go to the low poly. Let's, oh, it's right there. It's this one over there. So this is the low poly version, right? Now, what does it look like if we take, because if I rebuild this, I kind of want there to, see, it's good that it's symmetrical that way. I'm thinking of making it symmetrical this way, but not putting in this additional row. So we only have 4 opposed to 8. Because that will bring the polygon count down quite a lot, and I can then still keep these. The thing is, I feel like I kind of need to do a test where I I take all of these out. So if we look at this and I go... I hate that the select thing keeps wanting to do the other one. No, not that. We do this, we go merge, just collapse, right? How does the final version look? Because right now, that is it 30 polygons? We've got, well, how many of these? So if I go collapse, and then the other side, I could collapse all of that again. So in theory, I would get 30 for each one, and there's, yeah, it takes out a lot. So that's 90. 90 times 4 is 360 polygons. Possibly a bit more. I'd call it 400 because there's some additional lines I can remove and that kind of stuff. Actually, because we've got the other sides as well, so it's what is it? Let's call it 400, 800. So it would lose about 1,000, which would make a big difference. How does it look? So why don't we just do that? Are we in object mode? Okay, we're in object mode, so it's got like that. How many did I make on this one? Because what I want to do is, let's make a high and a low quality version. So what does the high quality version of this part look like? So if we go to the side here, we've got, I can't remember how the pen tool works. So 1, 2, let's do it this way. 1. Apparently can't draw permanently? What? Oh, you can. It just puts it out here. Then how do you get rid of the annotation? I'm so confused. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is 32. 17, 18, 19, 28. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31. Probably counted wrong. I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, what I could just have done, instead of doing that whole mess, is gone to the select tool, gone to the vertices, selected this entire thing like this, and then gone back to vertices, and would have seen that I have 32 vertices selected. So there's the two ways you can do it. You can count it, or you can do it the smart way and actually just do it that way. So 32. So let's make a base one that's 64, because that will give us a high quality of detail. So we'll go outside edit mode. We'll go Shift A, add a cylinder. We'll change the cylinder to 64 units. We'll rotate it by the X90. Apparently no. We'll rotate it by the X90. There we go. Rotate X90, enter. Rotate Z90, enter. Scale it down. GX to move it to there. So GY, scale X. Get about roughly the same size GX. Like that. Then scale Shift X. So that should change it in everything except the X-axis. Like that. And apparently they're not aligned, so we can just roughly align them. Actually, we don't even need to align them. We can keep it to the side like that. What we can do is go like this. And we'll give it a hard bevel, so a single amount. Let's go 7. Bevel hard. Actually, go... Select this. First, go Alt-A, apply scale. Alt-A and rotation. Now we can bevel, and it'll actually bevel a bit better, like that. So that would be now the high quality version of the same part, which is already 500. So now what we want is we need to cut this out. So how are we going to cut it so that it doesn't look weird? How many cuts do we have in this one? So this is a half circle-ish. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's go Shift A, add plane axes, cursor to selected, take the plane axes, selection to cursor, like that. Then we're going to enable hard ops. We're going to go Shift D, make a circle. Now, how many points? 32 is too much. Let's do... Fine, we'll try 32. So we'll go... Select the... What the heck? GX. Like that. Go enter, and that makes a big thing like that. Now that's not what we want, but it's fine. So okay, this is what we do. We go back, we take that, we disable it, we find that vertice over there, we go Shift A, actually just go like this, Shift A, add, go out of the object, Shift A, add an empty plane axes, go GZ, move it up, select the object, that is Z at that amount, go back, go here, put the Z in at that amount. Why is it not the same? You'd expect if Shift A, location, there we go. So there's that there. That's the center that we want. See, now that's properly centered. Then what we can do is go back to the Boolean. See if this works. Q, ever scroll, that, and go that. So now it's properly centered. Go 7, scale X, bring it in. That is somehow not centered though. Because I need it to be centered. What is this? Are you centered? You are. So, because we have this, we can now go Shift. Nope, don't want to leave. Just save. So cursor to selected. Then we can take this object and go selection to cursor. There we go. That's what I wanted. So I would say let's scale it in the ZX a bit more to about there. Now what I want to check, is this a multiple that actually works? So you can see that line and that line, because I'm looking at how am I going to simplify this now. So when I come to simplify, what am I going to remove? I'm going to have to remove that line there. But it's like, do I just scale this and everything except the Z? There would be like the sort of ideal, because then it cuts that line. Then what we can do is we can go like this, generate array. We wanted 4 of these because we wanted to see what it looked like. We want them to be around an object, which is this empty. And we take the object, we go Shift A, apply, all transforms. Then we take this and we go rotate Z, rotate X, And we go 90. Relative offset, no. Empty, no. Oh, we need to take this object and then we need to go... what is it? Ah, we go like this. We select this. So what we need to do is go cursor to selected. Nope, that's not the one. Cursor to selected. Because we need to move its pivot point basically. So now that it is there, because we wanted to rotate around the object, because now what's happening is it's rotating around its own origin. Now that we selected this, we can go object, set origin, origin to the 3D cursor, and you see now they perfectly align. Which is good. So how does it look as a 3 versus a 2? Granted that will be here. Well, actually, what we could just do is take this, this one here, because it looks. Let's just hide the cutters quickly. So I'm wondering, do we just make it bigger? Let's try and make it bigger. Q, over scroll, select that. See, so I've got these plane axes. Now we can go select this, we're going to shift origin to selected. You set origins to selected of the object that you have selected. Cursor to selected. Object set origin, origin to the cursor. So that breaks all of that. Then let's scale it in Y. Make it really big. Out there. Then go apply. All transforms. Then we can go select that again, go shift, cursor to selected. Nope, that's the wrong. Whoops. The Q, ever scroll, that one. And then we can go, wait, objects, set origin, origin is the 3D cursor. Eh? Where's my 3D cursor? You don't even see my 3D cursor. We can hide the cutters again. I think the size of the part, the bigger thing might make more sense. Because then if I clean this up, we will take out this one, and this one. Keep that one, and then here, we'll take out all of those and those. So we'll halve it, which looks like it'll work quite nicely. Let me just make a center hole now. So D cut. I'm not sure why you're there, but okay. GX scale GX. And what size did I make that? Let's just go cut through. See, that's nowhere near centered. So how are we going to center this? We're going to go Q, ever scroll. This one. I'm going to go Shift S, selection to cursor. So that should be perfectly aligned. Oh, you can see it is because it drew the line nicely there. And that looks good. Does this have... If we just isolate this object, is this a good multiple? Select that. Select that. Then what do we do? We go select, invert, select, mirror, similar. Oh, what is the one? It's like mirror. Not mirror, it's... What is checker deselect? That's what I want. Is that correct? It looks correct. Yeah. So this is sitting at 1,000, which is actually already not bad. Because let's assume if we don't put those other holes in, it's just at 1,000. Because how far out would this be? I might actually have to get Substance Painter. I might make the part in Substance Painter and then do the two over each other and see how they look. Where's this one? Do. What I could do, potentially, I'm not sure if I want to do this though, is have a high quality version in the game as well. Then I've got to unwrap it, which is going to be a pain. Just because we do have a screen where you can see the towers up close. So I guess as long as the tower looks good, I mean, what we can do is actually just go and test this. So, let's go to... Let's name this one quickly. So let's name it... Object name is going to be turret, top, gun, muzzle, high, V2. Then we go to the high quality, we turn it all on, we zoom out, we say that this is now and underscore V2. Not sure why it's in the wrong place. Wonder if we can make these square holes. Not sure why their orientation is over there. No, for some reason. Where was this one's orientation? Did I have to set the... I'm guessing what I need to do is set their origin of this part to the center here. I think it was the weird thing that I did. So if I go... Do I have a center? An empty center? Empty... center. Actually, if I click the high quality version, which is this one. Not that one. Actually, its center is there. So then, where is this one's center? This one's center is... No idea. Object set origin. There we go. Okay, it does need some kind of cut through. I think the 4 is fine though, to be honest. The other option would be to just have cylinder cuts. In my opinion, I heard square holes and immediately thought of that video with the guy putting every shape into the square hole, just saying, that's right, goes in the square hole. Fair enough. I might play around with a few designs and then see which one I want to do. So I'm going to make another one, put slices into it and then see how that looks as well. Could work. We'll play around and see. Alright, I need to go. So we're going to raid out. Let's raid boom! I'm gonna raid boom. There's your raid message if you want a raid message. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. I will probably be streaming next week Saturday, not next week Sunday, as it's starting the Christmas time and I've already got a dinner to attend. Have a good afternoon. Thank you very much, Braxton. Good luck with your stream later on. I'll see you there. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. As per usual, we have a YouTube channel if you want to see some of the clips from the stream over on there, and we have a Discord. Come say hi, or don't. It's up to you. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you next weekend. Bye, everybody. Bye.